Hello, my lovelies. Emily here. I am bringing you a stone that is very intricately based today. It is called the Nuumite Stone. It's Nuummite. It is known as the Sorcerer's Stone or the Magician's Stone. You can't really see it very well, but it is really dark gray, almost black, and it's got some really beautiful specks in it. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. And it's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of make out some of the gold flecks that are in it, although you might not be able to see them very well there. If you pull up a picture of it, you'll be able to see it pretty well that way. It is, well, let me start out by saying that the sources that I'm using today is healingcrystalsforyou.com, Judy Hall, thebeautifulstone.com, and underworldclassroom.com, just to name a couple of the ones that I really like delving into. There's some really fascinating information out there from these guys, and I really like utilizing them. So, excuse me. It's a stone that is based originally out of Greenland. However, they are in a few other places. It's a Sagittarius and Taurus zodiac-based stone. The planet aligns with is Pluto. It's an Earth star, base root chakra based energy. It can help release energies trapped in self-consciousness. It's an exceptional grounding stone, and also it's really great for shamanic journeying. It's attuned to the elemental forces of the earth. It has an extremely high magical and mystical content to it. The vibration that has earned its name, the Sorcerer's Stone. It's a very ancient stone, formed about 3 billion years plus ago. There's a little bit of variation in which scientists believe what, but it's at least 3 billion years old. It's one of the, or rather the oldest mineral that has been found so far. It's a very ancient stone, very sought after, a little more on the rare side, so a little higher in price depending on its grade. So it's a very unique stone as far as its energy manifestation capabilities. It's astronomical. So it comes from Greenland near Nuuk, it's called. Probably saying that wrong. I do apologize. It is a beautiful area. It's named after its origin of discovery. So it was formed in a volcano. However, discoveries in Canada, Spain, and the U.S. Have also been found. And it's only released in batches as it's mined through the summer thaw. So you'll find that batches of it just kind of come out and come into production, and then all of a sudden it just kind of fizzles out and doesn't necessarily die out, but it's a little harder to get a good quality stone, or if you're like me, it's not high on the priority on what kind of quality, as long as it's coming from its original place, and it's authentic, of course. But this particular stone has actually come from Greenland. It is one of my favorites. A friend of mine from a couple of years ago, his name is Andy. He is actually very intricate. He's a very intricate person. He has gone through quite a bit as far as spiritual, research and self research, and really has delved into the crystal and energy based world, the spiritual realms, prior lives, and all of that. He's very phenomenal when it comes to information. He knows his business. And I appreciate you, Andy. Thank you so much for showing me this stone. Ever since you showed it to me, I went right out and got it. Started researching it and found it to be one of my favorites. Resonated very well with me and hardly ever leaves my side. So just to kind of give you an idea, they usually come with a dark gray to a black sort of color, with an onslaught of possible colors reflected, with a bit of labradorescence. And for those of you that don't really know what Labrador Essence is, I'm going to show you this divining bowl that was lent to me by my good friend Kat, total sweetheart. She and her husband have loaned this to me for a little while to just kind of, be able to use it and play with it and get an idea of it. Anyway, this particular labradorite stone, as you can see, has got some blues and some turquoise and teal, and then there's also a real strong hint of green, and then like the gold that's in here. I hope you can see that pretty well. Just kind of moving around a little bit. That kind of iridescence, or labradorescence in this case, actually shows within the Nuumite stone. It's used really well with grids, and manifestation capabilities are just astronomical. So it's a really great stone to have. However, it is so strong that you really need to learn how to use this stone before incorporating it into a lot of your work. Its high frequency can be quite alarming, and really kind of put you off your game if you're not sure of what it's bringing to the table. It's a very strong assistant to manifestation and luck. It has a very unique sense about it, as it would seem. A quite strong psychic attack, or negative entities that are being forced on you. It guards against that. It's a very strong guard against negative energies and possible psychic attacks. So it's a very big protection stone. Its energy is so strong, in fact, that it will not only just guard you against it, but it can reflect it back to the person that is essentially messing with you, or the non-person that's messing with you. It depends on what your negative energy is coming from, but it really just helps bounce that stuff right back to them. I have found it very very true to its definition. I use it a lot. I feel its energy, and it's pretty intense. So it's used widely also for shamanic journeying. If you are a shaman and you really want to get onto your journey path, you can utilize this stone to meditate with, and it will help open that shaman door for you. It's pretty intense. A common situation occurs when it can bring things out of your past. So whether it's good or bad, it brings out and cuts the karmic attachment that you have from energies from lives past, even including the life that you're in right now. And of course, this is all if you believe in this sort of thing. But for me, I do believe in past lives, and I do believe that there's way more out there than what we're given granted, that we take granted for. So so as far as the stone, it can really bring out things that you're not ready to deal with. So you have to be very, very prepared and ready to take this stuff on, because sometimes it can be very re-traumatizing depending on your situation that it's bringing up. If you don't know, it's also known as the dark night of the soul, and can be difficult to handle. So it'll really catch you off guard. So please, please, please be prepared, mind, body, and soul, to handle this stone. To just go out and get it. You might not feel anything, but if you start using it in your crystal grids or in your meditations, you definitely might get some interesting side effects from this specific stone. It can also help enhance your mental state and your intellect. So being able to remember things, make snappy decisions that are very clear and concise, being able to really talk about things that are of interest without having to stutter even. It really is a smooth mindset stone, if you will. It can connect with your base or your root chakra, with the crown. So if you're using it in like a chakra balancing type of meditation or even Reiki healing, to use it to get your all of your chakras aligned, it's a perfect stone. It really manifests a lot of positive energy and really helps to get those things spiraling and connected. So it's a very good stone for that. It's a very great tool for developing intuition and your psychic abilities. It's a very big door opening kind of energy stone. So be prepared for that. If you want to really kind of find out what its capabilities are, you can try something like a skull meditation to really kind of connect with your stone and open up its energy and see what you're in for. But then again, just make sure that you are ready to start using that energy, because it may be a great grounding stone, but it can throw you for a loop. You can use it to utilize as a gazing stone. I'm just kind of going over my notes at the same time so I don't miss anything. For your psychic abilities, it's really profound. It'll really, really open up those psychic abilities. It'll boost your energy. If you use it with like a like a pink stone called like tug. I think I'm going to say this wrong. Tugpite, tugtupite. Anyway, that's a stone I have not learned about yet, but it was beautiful and it looked like it was very impactful for positive energies in, especially like in love and bringing love into your life. They're found sometimes together and also sometimes intertwined within the same volcanic area. So if you're lucky enough to get a Nuumite and a tugtupite stone together, you're in for a wild ride. So to use that in a manifestation grid, I think that you would really have some major benefits there that you're not expecting. It's also high vibration with cryolite for powerful emotional healing, which is really great for Reiki balancing, Reiki healing, chakra balancing, all those sorts of things where you're trying to connect all of those energies and get them flowing in the right direction. Especially if to help with dis-ease of the soul, and like if you're not sleeping, things like that, it'll really help smooth some of that stuff out for you. Also a very dark stone, green, I think is how you say it. It's a very strong protection stone, so if you're looking for something with a lot of kick behind it, I would go with maybe the combination of the two. If you can get your hands on the Aragrite, it'll be really, really beneficial. If they're, let's see, fused together, they can help. They can help you move on with your life. So if you are having some issues where it's bringing up some emotional karmic situations from the past, it can help you to sever that and be able to move on. So if you have a love in your life that things didn't work out and you just can't quite move on from that from a personal spiritual basis, you can try this stone and meditate with it, and it will really help ground you, center you, align your energy, and help you give a new vision to the future and help you to move on from that situation. So it's got a lot of spiritual and high vibrancy, high vibration skill to it. It's insane how strong this stone really is. I didn't really know much about it until I did all of this research on the stone, and I decided last night that maybe I wasn't quite connected to it enough. So I slept with it under my pillow, and I found it very difficult to sleep last night. Since my surgery in July, I do not really have any problem sleeping, and this specific stone had me up most of the night. I've been sleeping pretty well for the last couple of weeks, even into the last few months, and haven't had any problems until last night. Um, Normally, I wouldn't pay it too much attention if I've had a bad night's sleep, but this specific night was, well, it was a lot different. I had this surging energy that was just going through my rib cage that I could not explain. Um, I was very, I was very comfortable. I don't remember dreaming, although everybody dreams. They just, majority of them don't really remember it. But last night's was very profound for me. Having this stone with me, I meditated on it before I fell asleep, and um, I did okay until about 6 o'clock in the morning, um, and figured that I was like not like I was short of breath. It was really odd, and but not like short of breath in a bad way, but it was like my whole center chakra was just very, and even my throat chakra was very just revved up. Like I could have gotten up and probably done 20 push-ups. It was phenomenal of a feeling. Um, I didn't really toss and turn because I was really comfortable, but the energy that I had within my chest and just all around my diaphragm and my lungs, it was just bursting with energy, and I've never really experienced that before. I didn't have goosebumps or anything like that, but just the energy of where this, it was almost like it got a chakra moving again. Like, okay, all of a sudden we're working now, and it was just mind-boggling. And all I can remember is just laying there and being like, "What's happening?" Like this is really exciting, and it was very just vibrant. Like I can't really explain it other than that. It was full of energy, almost sparkish, um, and it was all like centered around my heart and my diaphragm. So I'm a firm believer that it probably got a chakra going last night that I didn't realize wasn't working right. So it was very great on the flow through my energy, even my meridians. It was just amazing. Anyway, not to sound like I'm babbling, but this specific stone is very, very impressive for me. Just to kind of go over a few things that you can use it with. If you need extra spiritualness, you can turn to like purple amethyst. May be required for like a faster transformation. Use it with moldavite. Moldavite is a very, very energy spastic stone, if you will. It's kind of like Nuumite. However, it's made up of meteorite and the matter that is around it when it hits the earth. So whatever rocks it heats up with when upon impact it molds to it, thus being moldavite. So meteorite molded. Anyway, um, that specific stone, I have a couple of those pieces as well, and it's very, very powerful. So don't forget to cleanse your stones. If you get stones, immediately just cleanse them. Knock out all of that, any possible energy that's residual from the person it was before, the store, the shipping, everything that it's encountered before. You want to get rid of all of that energy. So make sure that you cleanse your stones, recharge them. I'm a very big fan of moon charging as well as sun charging. However, in Alaska, we have little of that, and by the time that I go to work or come back, the sun hasn't even decided to hit that side of the house. So I just kind of stick with the moon because that's out a lot more and it's very much more accessible in the wintertime. You can also cleanse your stones with light, with water, cold water. I'm a really big fan of cold water. If I had an ocean near me with just some perfect natural salt water, that'd be great. I mean, of course I could make it myself, duh, but something about pulling actual seawater and using it to cleanse your stones just is an amazing feeling for me. So you can do different things to help cleanse your stones using smoke, incense, music vibration, light over a candle, anything like that that helps move that energy out and bring new energy in. And then to charge your stones, you can do a multitude of different ways. Also you can kind of do them both in one shot with the cold water, with ice, with smoke, etc. So you can try different ways like that and be able to kind of, you know, bring all of that together and get your stones ramped up to start working for you. You will find stones that do not resonate with you, things that you just don't feel anything for them, and other times you will actually get to feeling like this stone's calling to me, like it I'm pulled to it. You know, you're gonna have that. You can have that type of feeling where you're pulled to a stone, and that's kind of along the lines of being. It's called divining stones, and you just kind of move your hands over the stones, and you know you'll see a stone that just kind of sticks out to you, and you just have to get it. Or you know maybe there's a multitude of stones, you know, and for me that happens often. So we're not going to get into that right now. But I do have a multitude of stones because of that problem. So if you do get into this stuff, you will find that you are all of a sudden attracted to all of these stones, and they're all calling to you. Just pace yourself, do your research. Sometimes you're just going to get called into the store, and you're just going to need to pick a stone, and that's all there is to it. I did, however, last about a week and a half ago, I picked out a stone. It was a blue tiger's eye, which is very phenomenal. I do have some here. I have a protection bag that I carry around with specific stones. This one here is actually a blue tiger's eye. So you can kind of see that in there as opposed to like the amber or the red or the brown. That I had picked out a blue tiger's eye in the store a week and a half ago, and I was just lost when I saw this stone. Like, I saw it in a whole huge vat of stones, and I was trying to get her to pick out this specific one until finally she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna bring the tray out and you can pick it out. And I was like, perfect. And so I picked the stone out and I put it in my protection bag, which is odd because I don't normally put the stones right into my bag. And so it was odd that I was carrying this specific stone around with me because I already had one in there that is my steadfast blue tiger's eye. And we went to a lady's house to help cleanse her house, and this stone kept popping into my head. Like, I was just trying to show her my protection bag and the stones that I use, and this huge blue piece of blue tiger's eye just kept popping into my head. Like, I needed to do something with this stone, and before I knew it, I was giving it to her. It was like, okay, this stone is just popping out and it needs to go with you, apparently, because it doesn't want to go in my bag. And I know that sounds crazy, but people that work a lot with crystals and energy will know that feeling or know something about what I'm saying. And has probably had that happen to them. So I ended up using this stone to give to her, and apparently it was on its own path. So it chose me as a vessel to get to her, which worked out for all of us, I guess. So anyway, weird, odd things like that can happen if you're, you know, not used to it. Just go with it. You know, you can fight it all you want. I could have stuffed it back in my bag, which I tried 3 times, and I just kept pulling it back out and playing with it for some reason. And it was the only stone I kept doing that with. And it was like, finally I gave it to her, and I never really thought about it after that. It was so weird, but it was a new experience for me. So it was really fascinating. Anyway, so that's kind of how it felt with this Nuumite stone. To bring it back to that, that stone is always in my protection bag, and I carry it with me all the time. It's always in my bag. It's always in my pocket. It's always in, you know, my sweater. It's always with me, along with, you know, a bunch of other ones that I keep, and I'll share those with you later. So for now, I will let you go, my lovelies, and I will do research on another stone and come back with a new video as soon as I can. And if you have any questions about the Nuumite stone and you just wanna chat about it, or if there's something that you can tell me about it that I didn't cover, again, these are just the quick basics to be able to use it in your crystal grids and your meditations. As far as your crystal grids, just to touch on that real quick before I let you go, it is a really great manifestation stone. It's extremely strong for grounding. So if you if you cleanse and charge your stone before you put it into your grid, and then you use that to manifest, whether it's, you use a great big chunk of it, like the smoky quartz, if you can find an obelisk, you will probably be insanely amazed at the manifestation power within this stone. However, all the way down to little teeny tiny pieces of it, as small as this rutilated smoky quartz that I have, or smaller, even like this little chunk of moldavite that is smaller than my thumbnail. Regardless of the size of it, moldavite and Nuumite especially is very, very strong for manifestations. So if you're looking for something specific in your life and you want to get it as quickly as possible, that is a great stone to use. Whether it's a point to help direct energy into a central stone, used great with amethyst, or you use it on its own, it's going to be a very strong stone to use. So anyway, I hope that helps you. Again, if you have any questions, or you want to elaborate on some stuff, or you want me to elaborate on some stuff, or you want to share a story, I don't care. Just throw it into the comments, and let's get talking about it. Again, there's more information out there on the internet, endless possibilities. The references that I use, I find, are very sound, and they've got a very strong backbone to them, and so therefore I use them a lot. So that's it for today. I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much for joining me on the Nuumite, and you guys have a great day. Bye, my lovelies.